Good time of the day, class. Today I have something special for you. I will be taking a cello lesson. You have had me yell at you all year about how to play the cello, so now someone will yell at me how to play the cello, and I will let them introduce themselves to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Gruber. I used to be an orchestra director and I still am in some capacity, but I'm actually doing my master's degree in music education at Indiana University. And I teach elementary school violinists at the moment. So it's really fun for me to be able to sit down and do some cello stuff with Mr. Hayden because I haven't been doing a ton of cello in the last year or so. So
I will be playing the tune Night Shift, which we were going to start doing in the 8th grade class before everything got canceled. This song incorporates a lot of things we were working on, including 16th notes, using our second fingers. And it also introduces shifting, which is something I really want to talk about, but have not really had a chance to because, everything's hashtag canceled. All right, let's dig into it. Oh no.
okay, good. Let's stop right there. So that's really good, Mr. Hayden. I know that you know how to shift, but in cello we have some a little bit different than shifting in the bass part. So I think you're doing a great job of taking your thumb all the way with your hand, but when we land, we're not landing all the way quite in the right spot. So let's take a look at this shift from D to E. Yeah, so I want you to just do that a couple times. 4, 1. Yeah, let's like add that slide in there. So let's do, and we want to think about shifting with the finger that we're going to land on. So I want you to actually go D and then 1. That might help. Very nice. Good. Good. Now take that back out and just think about. Very good. Can you try again from measure 6 where we have that, where it was starts that phrase?
Sure.
Good. Very nice.
Do you want me to do that again and keep going?
Yeah, one more time. And your F sharp, you want to think about that up there just a little bit closer together. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, hang on. Let's read music. No, read music, Drew.
Good.
I need to count there.
Good. So if you're coming, it's the same 8 notes.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good. Sorry, mine's really small. Good. Let's go back. I like that measure 20 and 21 where they have a rest. I think in those rests the violins are doing something. If I'm not,
I think it's probably the same exact thing.
Yeah. So you can be really dramatic with that. I think with that the slur. Rest. Really lean into that, and I like to put a little bit of extra weight on my bow with my first finger. Okay. Rest. See if you can try that. Yeah, that gives it a lot more drama, especially if the different sections are talking to each other back and forth there. And I like your eighth notes too. See if you can find the balance point of your bow, which is, for me, it's about right in the middle, not right in the middle, a little bit closer to the frog. Yeah. And I think those eighth notes sit really well right there. So if I find that balance point and I put it right on my string there, and I find my bow hold again, give it a little bit of a bouncier sound without being staccato or spiccato where our bow's actually bouncing off the string. Just makes it easier. We always want to work smarter and not harder. So if we find the balance point of our bow, we'll be able to do those eighth notes there.
Find that balance point.
Yep. Find our balance point. And after I find it, I just put it right on the string there. And while I'm holding onto the balance point with my left hand, I find my perfect bow hold with my right hand. And then I'm really set, ready to go.
22?
Yeah, give it a try. Yeah, right at the balance point. I'm not a fan of that bow stroke. So the bow stroke that you're doing is a little bit bouncier. I want to see if you can keep the bow on the string. So don't ever let the hair of the bow. Is your cat helping you play the cello?
She wishes.
So don't ever let the hair of your bow leave the string. It's not this kind of motion. It's not an up and down motion. It's a back and forth. Just try that on open G. Better. I like that. Apply that bow stroke now to measure 22. I think that would be good.
Discount.
Good. Okay, let's go back even before we get to the 16th notes. So when we are playing this, we call this chromatic, where it's G, F sharp, F natural. We want to make a real difference between our F sharp and our F natural. So on cello, there are two different fingers that you get to use for them. Make sure that your fingers are not too closely spaced together. Each finger has enough space between it for there to be more notes in there that aren't just those ones.
That sounds good.
There we go. Good. So when you have our eighth notes, which we're playing pretty fast, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and our 16 notes are twice as fast as our eighth notes. Hopefully I'm playing the right notes. Is F sharp in the key signature? Sure is. Yes. So if we're playing. Our 16 notes are going twice as fast. 1 and a 2 and 3, rest.
27. Sorry,
yeah, well, you can try right on 30 and then we can go back.
Okay. Who got it?
Yeah, and the trick I use for that, yeah, good. That was it. A trick I use for that is when I put my third finger down on the G string, I actually just put it on the G string and the G string at the same time. And then when I do the first finger, I do the same thing. Good. Okay, good. Do you want to go back and see if you can add that in from like measure 27?
Sure.
You have to be thinking ahead on the 16th note.
For sure. Oh no, I keep playing that A rung.
That's okay. Good. Now, since we've been playing really fast notes, those quarter notes in measure 33 are going to feel really slow, but I think I played the right notes. Nope, I didn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So nice, long, smooth, and legato. Good.
I need to look at those notes.
Good. Yeah, so they just are outlining those chords. Those are all of those arpeggios, a G major chord, and then I don't know, I guess A major.
Yeah, A minor.
A minor.
No,
Okay.
sorry, A major. A major. I was playing the wrong note.
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, with the C sharp and the key signature. I always have to check the key signature. I always get messed up by that. Yeah, so all those arpeggios are the reason why we practice those scales and arpeggios, because they come into our music all the time. And then the next part, if you want to look ahead at measure 38, we have those fun notes. Have your students done?
We have briefly talked to it. Let's see, can I point to it?
Yeah, so these have 2 slashes through them. 3 slashes would be a tremolo, where we don't count them at all. We don't measure them out. But 2 slashes through the notes means that we're going to play them as 16th notes. And the reason why the publisher wrote it like that is they're trying to save space on the page. So right now, the way that they wrote it is just 1 quarter note with 2 slashes through it, which means that's just taking up less space than it would 4 16th notes. So all it means is to play 16th notes, but it's just like a fancy way to write it. So you take each note that you see and you play it 4 times. And I like to do that in the same part of the bow, maybe a little bit closer to the middle than the balance point, but and it's just nice and fast, right in the middle. Good. Can you keep the hair of your bow nice and flat? And see if you can make it even smoother. Good. And now check out the dynamics of that are written under that. It has a piano at the very beginning and then a big crescendo in the second measure. Good. I like that you use that extra bow with a little bit more weight on that to make that happen. Very nice. And then I'm assuming in these rests, some other violins or things will be playing, maybe even a bass solo in there.
Maybe. I don't have the score in front of me.
But that's okay. We'll just have to count. I have played this piece many years ago with a group, but it's been a while. I don't have it memorized anymore. Let's hear it. Go ahead and keep going. You can start from that same spot if you want.
Okay.
And it's a lot of the same concepts that we've already worked on. Yeah, and it ends sort of mysteriously in the typical Richard Meyer fashion. Have you guys played any other Richard Meyer this year?
I can't think off the top of my head.
I'm sure that you have. He's like one of the biggest composers for music middle school players would play. So yeah, he always ends his piece a little dramatically. I don't know, I'm sure that your kids have played Dragon Hunter, right?
You know, we started to learn it with my 7th graders, but we moved on. We just worked on it so long that we kind of all lost our passion for it.
Yeah, but that's also Richard Meyer. But yeah, so he ends that one also very mysteriously too. So. Yeah. Typical Richard Meyer. Very nice. Nice work. Yeah. So I think for this one, always flat bow hair and those eighth notes, not a staccato sound where it's bouncing off the string, but keep your bow in the string and really make sure that it's coming mostly from your wrist. That's where I like to play that one. A lot of people try to play cello more with like their arm and their shoulder, and it doesn't really work out as well as it would if you were just to isolate that motion and move it mostly in your wrist. Yeah. Of course, you have to make sure that you're sitting up straight and you're sitting in a nice chair. A lot of times people don't have a chair at home that like they would at school for playing cello. So sometimes you have to improvise a little bit. You never want to try to play like on the side of your bed or something. It's usually just too high. So it's one of those cello things. Every chair is different and your setup is different either way. But you look good there, Mr. Hayden, set up correctly, your cello playing.
Wow, great. Cool. How about we try the whole thing?
All right. Do you want me to play with you? I don't know if that'll work so well on Zoom.
Yeah, no, let's not do that. That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
I could mute myself and you can play.
Okay.
But we'll play together.
1, 2. Oh geez. I looked over to see if we were together and it messed me up. Let's regroup at 30. 1 and a 2 and 3. Beautiful.
Nice, we made it.
Yay. I think that's enough time to meet the 15 minutes that my overlords have demanded.
Time. You're a great student, Mr. Hayden. I will always come out with you and play cello any day.
Thank you for joining us. I hope at least some of my students watch this.
Yeah, and I hope you guys are safe and staying home and enjoying the time with your family as much as you can. I'm enjoying spending extra time with my dog for sure.
My cat, as you can tell, really enjoys the extra time.
Yeah, she's trying to. I think you should probably teach her how to play the violin.
I don't know. She's a bit lazy. She kind of just likes sleeping.
You would be famous for being the first teacher to ever teach their cat how to play violin.
Well, sometimes it feels like that. Anyways, have a wonderful day, and I hope to see emails and comments from all of you.